And it hasn't, given me the notification yet that you're live. There we go. And now I can go in the mod mode.
And now you're in the mod, and we are live.
Yes.
People can see us. Don't look at us.
You can look at. I was about to say you can look at me. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to the GenXCynics cast, y'all. I am, as always, Kalari GXC, and this is
Axiom Wolf.
Yes. We are doing this special right before the 4th of July because tomorrow I am taking a bit of a break to just spend time with my family, cook, and maybe watch some movies.
Yeah, we watch some movies, get some stuff together. Maybe we can do some popcorn.
Yeah. Because movies are a big part of most Gen X lives. TV and movies. We were the latchkey kids. The kids that had the sets that babysat us while we were watching our siblings or being watched by our siblings. So today's special, we're going to talk about different retro movies and reviews and other things. Oh, I like that. That's pretty. Yeah, it comes right up.
I can make that a little bit bigger, though, I think.
Yeah.
Don't
but yeah.
I'm gonna tinker. I'm a tinker. I'm sorry, I can't help that.
It's okay. But seriously though, we had so much fun last week and we got so much positive feedback from friends who stopped by and who watched the channel, the chat on YouTube. So yeah, we're gonna try to do these at least once a week unless a holiday or something else pops up, and we'll let you know. And it's just our opinions on different things, and Axiom and I talk about this stuff all the time anyway, whether in the car or just laying, and sometimes a topic came up. And last night, I think it was last night, we talked about movies, and I was like, that would be fun to talk about.
But first, I looked up and I saw that. I was like, last week, can you grab my shield?
Yes.
Oh, careful. You can just take the shield off the base, you don't have to grab the whole thing.
Oh, I like the
last
base.
week, we showed off my little Zelda shield. That I got one for Cal coming, and we said we would share where I actually got that off Etsy, and I forgot to post it in the chat, so we posted it to the YouTube video. So I wanted to cover this, and then we'll have another shout out from an Etsy creator that we use at the end of the chat. Just remind me, please, because I am horrible with remembering stuff.
I will definitely remind you.
So this is the guy that I got the shield made from. He did 3 custom orders for me. Let me just minimize that and we can get to it again easier. He did, this one was just his normal that he sells on, was it Control V?
Control V.
There we go. That is just his regular shop link. This is the one he normally sells. He did a shadow link for one of our friends, True Creative, who we just got done working on a Nuzlocke. You can just set it. It doesn't hook up. It just sets on it.
Oh, okay. Yep. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. She's trying not to. She's worried that it's going to break or something.
It's
she's so
like
cute.
Jenga.
It's fine. So we just got done watching him do a Nuzlocke, and I had a Shadow Link one created for him because he likes Shadow Link, and then for Cal I got one that it's instead of the blue it's purple. And then instead of the red bird, I did a white bird on it, and I just sent him what I wanted to in the description. And he goes, just send me what you want in the description, and I'll make it. And I even photoshopped what I thought it should look like. And he said I did really good on paint. So
it's so pretty. We got pictures.
Yeah, I got a picture of it, but it's in bubble wrap. So we're waiting for it to show up. So when we get that one, we'll show that one off, and we'll probably give him another shout out in the chat.
Oh yeah.
But he was a very nice guy. I just recommend asking, hey, do you mind doing, if you have your own custom idea you want it done for colors?
And be respectful.
Yeah, be respectful, because I asked him if he cared we give him a shout out, and I don't want to,
We didn't want to overload somebody.
Yeah, we don't want to hey, now he's got 500 orders to fill and he hates us.
Yeah.
So. But now that we did that. We're back on
to the movies and TV, and we all have our own personal favorites. I was laughing about the fact that for me, my favorite movie of all time is Leon the Professional. I don't know what it was about that movie. I think I found it at a time I was feeling low, but I love the acting. The story, if you don't think about it too much, isn't as twisted as it can be. Because if you think about a romance between an older man and a much, much, much younger girl, I never looked at it as a romance when I first found that movie. I thought this older man was helping her avenge her fallen family. So that's what I had took from it. Now that I'm older and I watch it, I see some of the stuff that might have went over Youngerton's head. But the reason why that movie was my favorite is Gary Oldman is one of my favorite actors.
Oh,
and he tends,
actor.
yes, he tends to play villains like nobody's business, whether it's a serious or a comedic, because he was in Hitman's Bodyguard as a villain. He is just an amazing actor, and one of my favorite roles he's played is Commissioner Gordon in the Dark Knight series.
I would have to say I like him as Zorg in Fifth Element.
Yeah, Fifth Element's one of your favorite.
He is
movies.
almost unrecognizable after, like, if you said that.
Yes,
that's
Bradley.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. And the thing I loved about him in The Professional is you bought him as a corrupt DEA agent.
Yeah.
And he was just so, like, over the top, but believable. You believed that he was always a step ahead. And then when... I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched The Professional, but even his ending in the movie was fitting of his character. Gary Oldman, to me, is like one of the best actors. And then you had young Natalie Portman, and Homegirl can act. She's always been a fan favorite of mine. You know, I loved her in that. I loved her in V for Vendetta.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely loved her in the Marvel movies. And she's down to earth, you know.
And it's a weirdly confusing... like I never watched the movie before, and then Cal had me watch it with her, and I was like, I normally have a little crush on Natalie Portman, and this is weird and confusing for me because I have to remember that this is an older movie, you know. Plus, it has the Transformers in it. Like, she's actually watching the Generation 1 Transformer animated series. So I was just like, go back to her watching the TV. I want to watch Transformers too.
And it really was a deep movie. I love movies that are deep, but it's subtle. So you see all the different layers. It's not in your face about how her and her family was living. You got glimpses of their dysfunction without it being over the top. And then her relationship with Jean Reno, who played Leon in the story, was done in such a way that you really didn't question this hitman taking in a child and teaching her things. And it's still one of my favorite. And it's crazy to call it retro because it doesn't feel like it's that much old, but it really is.
Yeah, that's the weird part about it. You sit down and you watch some of these movies, and it's like if you sit down and you watch Die Hard,
yeah,
it's like that movie could have been solved with a cell phone.
Exactly.
Like, hey, they're in the tower.
But did you, like, when the last time we watched it, I freaked out at, like, the car models and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you could see how much things have changed, especially in New York.
Yeah.
Like, the old police cars, they look like bricks back in the day to me.
Yeah, Brandon's got a nice idea there that see her character fully grown. Like, they could do another, like, Professional, too, where it's her and maybe she takes in someone, like that was in the spot that she was in.
Yeah.
You know, and show her as a... That would be a nice... I
would love to see her as a cleaner because I love the way the movie ended.
Yeah.
She had his plant. She buried it, but you could tell that she took all that lesson with her. Natalie Portman really is one of my favorite actresses.
Yeah, I would like to see him revisit that. Maybe have her have a Leon in her head that she talks to.
Yeah.
That way you can kind of work his character.
Because, let's face it, and not to be too heavy on the chat, a lot of things that Leon touched upon still is ongoing, especially with the NYPD, so, yeah. I mean, the movie could be made today, and it wouldn't be too far from how it was back in the day, too.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, seeing 80s New York, it's just like going back in time to my childhood, and a lot of good movies for me came in those days. I mean, another one of your favorites is, like you said, the Transformers movie.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, if you watch an older movie from like the 80s and stuff, they really put a lot in, but they left a lot of nuances out.
Yeah.
To the point of, like, how are you going to make up for that lack of stuff? And there's we're just going to put in a kick-ass soundtrack.
Yes, the music.
And that is the one thing that I think that you even see in, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, which is still newer, I mean, I don't think we'll ever consider Guardians of the Galaxy a retro movie for a couple of years yet. But he tied you could not do that opening sequence with Star-Lord with any other song than what he was actually listening to.
Yeah.
Like, you
Come and Get Your Love was so much fun.
You can't do that with a Justin Bieber tune.
No.
It's just not going to have the same effect. Like, reaching back, and I love the fact that they did that. They made it like all his music that he listens to is nothing current. It's all from the, 70s, 80s when he was younger. It's stuff his mom listened to. And, like, you can take, okay, what is the formula for a good movie in the 80s? We have a partway good story and a kick-ass soundtrack.
Yes.
And that's all we need. We mush that together, put it in the blender, put it out there, people will love it. And that's why I still love the old Transformers animated movie, because you had Dare to Be Stupid on there. And I don't care who you are, when you hear Stan Bush, you've got the touch, and Prime is transforming to go kick Megatron's ass.
Best scene
in the whole movie.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of people, sleep on how music and soundtracks really amplify. And you can see a lot of Gen X type people in Hollywood now mention that. Like you said, with Guardians and James Gunn, a lot of his movies. That's why I'm looking forward to the new Suicide Squad. Because I know it's going to have both the story and the soundtrack. And then even Homeboy with Rick and Morty. And I know some people are like, they either really love or they hate Rick and Morty. It's very rare to find people who are in the middle of that show. And I know how some people feel about the creator. He used to be a creeper. He doesn't shy away from that like some people. He admits that, I was problematic. I'm trying my best. And like I tell people, when you are trying to be better, you're not going to get everybody that you've hurt or that already want to negatively judge you. All you can do is try to be better. So what Dan Harmon does in his Rick and Morty show is you'll see a lot of stuff that influences him. Like when he did that Tony thing with the Purge episode, cracked me up. Because one of the things my mom had us do, because in the 80s they had that get in shape girl nonsense, we used to have to do a fitness routine to It Feels Good. So seeing people just like get shot up to that song cracks me up.
Yeah.
And like Axiom can tell you, and some of y'all know by my sound alerts on my channel, I tend to have a very 80s theme. Gem was one of my favorite cartoons. Girls Just Want to Have Fun was like an anthem for me. And when I'm in Destiny, that is my sniper music.
Right.
Like, he is fell out laughing because he'll hear me in the background with that music playing and just getting headshot.
Yeah, and there's nothing more weird than you're sitting there, like, trying to take your own headshot, and then all of a sudden over the mic you hear her singing, Girls Just Want... And you're sitting there watching her go, and she's killing stuff, and you're just like, you crazy psycho. Like, there's no song for me for that. I just got to get regular headshots like I'm a crazy person.
It helps keep you focused.
She's got a theme. One thing I pulled away from that is if you hear Cyndi Lauper singing, hit the deck. Get behind something quick.
And she did a lot of good soundtracks too. The Goonies soundtrack is still one of my favorites too. I love that movie because I don't really enjoy a lot of kid actors. I'm not even going to lie about that, especially now that I'm a mom. I don't feel like Hollywood portrays kid actors realistically a lot of times. But in the 80s, kids were kids. And when you had child actors in those movies like Stand By Me and Lost Boys and especially Goonies, you felt like you were watching kids. Mm-hmm. They weren't kids being super duper smart unless they had that personality type. They were kids who handled situations the way kids would do.
Yeah.
Whether it was to scream or panic or, be scared or cry even, they were kids. Nowadays you see kids in movies and most of the time they're just background characters. They're annoying,